Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. Wanted to address an issue today which sort of upsets me on some level. Maybe that's because there's some truth to it, perhaps, that I've yet to come to terms with. I'm willing to accept that. However, I haven't been given an argument which I think is sufficient to prove the point that people are trying to make. Now, a lot of people, preppers included, many people who don't prep or choose not to prep will justify it on many grounds. One of the many reasons is that, the likelihood of something happening is very minimal. Therefore, you should not prep. And, there might be some truth to that. Shit may never hit the fan in our lifetimes. That is a gamble that we make. But I ask those people, and this is something I've said before, how much time do you invest in things in which there is no direct return on the investments you make? So for instance, how many hours a day do you watch TV? Mind-numbing TV shows, which bring you nothing but entertainment and keep you distracted and mentally constipated. How much money do you spend on sports and sporting events? How much time do you spend on sports? How much time do you spend playing video games? How much time do you spend looking at pixels on a screen that are organized in such a way to convey meaning to you, to keep you distracted in buying games? How many hours of your life have you invested to that in between going on prepper videos and saying, oh, you guys are all stupid, I'm going to go back to playing video games now? And then there's this other idea of, and a lot of preppers bring this up, is this idea that, shit hits the fan is a fantasy to you. Okay, let me tell you something about this so-called fantasy. This fantasy that you attribute our prepping to is actually a nightmare scenario that I would never, ever wish to happen. And I get passing thoughts of the reality of it sometimes, and it really scares the shit out of me. Because I understand human nature. A lot of people have been tricked by the veil of civilization into thinking that man is inherently well-behaved and can constrain his deepest impulses at will. But this so-called fantasy, and I allude to various post-apocalyptic fiction when I try to engage in certain topics, and some people refer that to quote-unquote mental masturbation, which, is fine by me because, you could spend your time thinking about a lot worse and things of a lot less significance that will be less practical in the real world. But this so-called fantasy that a lot of preppers, preppers included, say that we entertain when we talk about the big global shit hits the fan, is not something I think anybody wants to happen. Even the John Rambo types, when they truly, through and through, play that tape through as to what WROL would look like, nobody would want that. They prep because they don't want that. People might get passing thoughts of, the last man on earth syndrome, where they feel that they're going to be the only ones who are alive to go shopping and looting, and they're going to be king of the castle I think that's a very short-lived thought for most, and people grow out of that very quickly.